Yeah, I really should wash this. One thing I sort of noticed about Dallas is that it feels like everything is by the freeway, like everything. But welcome to Koreatown. And we're on the edge of Carrollton, which is the Korean area in Dallas. And today's my first day really kind of exploring this area. We're gonna start right here. This place, I took a look at one picture and I knew I had to come here. And let me show you what I saw. This place, obviously, the reason why it's open so early, opens at 7 a.m. is because it sells Seolleongtang, which if you never had before, Korean oxbone soup is one of my favorite things for breakfast because it's so meaty, you know? I just love meaty things for breakfast. This place sells a version of this soup that I've never really seen before. And while I'm waiting for that beauty to show up, just a huge thank you and shout out to Surfshark VPN for sponsoring this video and continuing to support this channel. If you guys never heard of a VPN before, it's a virtual private network, and I've always been urging people to get one, especially right now when our entire lives are basically online. And whenever you're connected to a random Wi-Fi, this is always opportunity for someone to have access to your private information. You know, when you're typing in basically anything into a search engine or anywhere, or even just talking about it out loud, ads for whatever you're talking about start showing up everywhere, your phones, your social media pages. I swear Alexa is listening all the time. Anyway, what a VPN is, it's a virtual private network. And a service like Surfshark VPN will encrypt and secure your personal information before it goes over the internet. Also, Surfshark has something called HackLock ID, so when someone's trying to access something like your email, you're gonna get notified right away. And if you feel like you watched all the Netflix shows and videos already, well, you haven't, because you haven't checked out the other countries' catalog. So if you're overseas and you wanna have access to US streaming services like Hulu or Crunchyroll, you can also use Surfshark VPN to kind of trick them into thinking that you're actually here, so you can have access to your account. So if you wanna give it a try, use my link down below in my code dumpling. You're gonna get 83% off your order and 3 months extra for free. Also, you got 30 days to try this out. If you don't like it for whatever reason, get your money back. This is it. Look at this massive sauna of meat. A layer of brisket on the outside. You got tendon, ribs, of course, dates, scallions, trumpet mushrooms, all sitting in this beautifully white bone broth. See how pretty that is? So when I saw that on the pictures, right away, swipe right. You really should be food tender. Just every day, keep swiping until you see the food you want to eat. Now, Seolleongtang, of course, you gotta kind of control your own degree of saltiness to it. Of course, you gotta taste it first before adding any salt. This thing already is so creamy. Just like velvet on your tongue. It's creamy with that nice, slightly garlicky flavor from the scallions, and you dip the meat into this dipping sauce. That's too good. First meal of the day. I don't really even feel like I need much salt in here. This is pretty much reaching perfection for me. Dipping sauce, a little sweet. I like the spicy mustard that's in here, and you can eat it with a little bit of jalapenos and onions. Oh, tendon. I like the brisket, but for me, the tendon's where it's at. This thing is just so soft, and it soaks up a lot of that great dipping sauce. Chase it with some banchan. Brenda's here with me. What do you think?
So good.
Right? I could probably eat that like just on my own.
Those are really good.
The ribs? These are the ribs. I'll be honest, I was kind of intimidated by the size of that big pot because there's so much meat in there. You don't need to be intimidated. If I was coming back alone, I still order that. That's so tender. I was kind of worried about these ribs because, I mean, from the outside, they look kind of dry, but once it's bathed in that nice broth for a little bit, comes right off the bones. This and the tendon is my favorite. Seriously, what would you have? Pot of meat like this or scrambled eggs? Don't get me started on this whole breakfast thing again. If you haven't heard my rants about it, basically, I hate what is established as breakfast food, and I like being able to eat whatever you want. And that's why I love places like this. Oh, so good. A little salt and pepper. True to Texas, meat falls off the bone of these ribs. You guys need to come to this place and try this. The best unique breakfast. And the soup I got in Chinese is called wu qi tang. Basically means it will restore your energy. It's basically hangover food. And that's why places like this will usually open super early. So if you want like a healthier alternative, I think most people when they think of hangover food, they think of like, you know, something greasy. This is a much healthier, probably much better tasting alternative. You can literally taste the creamy, magical essence that they extracted from the bones. What in the name of Texas is a super H Mart? I've been to an H Mart. What's a super H Mart? Can it fly or? I wanna go check it out. This is the place I wanna eat at. Oh, it's closed on Mondays. What? I am so sad. Oh, luckily there seems to be a lot of places around here, but I just wanna take a quick look and see what's so super about this H Mart. This looks good. I've never seen jiade pineapple cakes outside of Taiwan before. These are amazing. Oh, maybe it's super because look at all the little food court area. Dumpling Chen. That was literally my nickname in high school. Well, Chen, but whatever. Entire Korean barbecue section. Ooh, musubi section, kimbap. All right, I'm gonna come back and explore this further, but I wanna go eat something first. Wow, this is really cool. They got a to us, less drawers as well. To all of you guys out there thinking about getting married, first of all, congratulations. Secondly, did you ever think about getting your wedding cake possibly from an H Mart? No. I knew there was a reason Garfield hated Mondays. Now I do too. Wow, egg toast too. This place, Korean street food. Yes, please. Sugar me up. Thank you. You can also put cheddar cheese, Parmesan cheese, honey butter. I get this because, man, I miss Korean street food. Of course, Korean corn dog, but it's actually a Korean rice dog. This thing way crispier than a traditional corn dog. If you've never had these before, way crispier than a traditional corn dog. And sugar on it is a genius move. Also, what goes on the inside is so fun. Mozzarella cheese and a hot dog? Yes, please. And the outside texture is so much better because typically what they use is a sticky rice flour batter. So when you first bite it, amazing crunch, and then a nice chew. Rice cook is so good here. This is way spicier than most of the places I went to in Korea. I wish I saved some of my corn dogs so I could have dipped it in here. Kind of sad because I'm sitting here listening to K-pop. I miss Korea. I really do. I told you guys, like, when I first came back to the US from South Korea, and that was like the longest I've ever spent outside the US in a foreign country that's not China. I walked into like a Korean cafe that was selling mochi donuts and croffles, and everybody was speaking Korean. I felt a bit emotional. I was like, oh man, I miss that place. Like, I kind of consider South Korea my home for a while because I was there for such a long time. One day I'll go back. I also want to go to Pike's Noodles, but I'm just gonna come back another day when all these places are open, and I will now refer to all Mondays as Disappointment Mondays. I got a cheese pork katsu. That looks amazing. This thing's on a hot plate. Melty cheese curry sauce underneath. And I got a yukajan, the shredded beef soup, which is traditionally eaten at Korean funerals. Oh, that's great. And the reason why they eat this at funerals is because Korean people believe that this is so spicy and hot that after you eat this, you just sweat it out. And afterwards, you feel pretty refreshed. Maybe not the most, in Chinese, we'll call it 吉利 thing to eat. Maybe not the most lucky thing to eat. I'm not sure. But it's delicious. Pork katsu is good. Perfect blend of crunchy and tender. And of course, gotta have cheese on everything. This is just good old-fashioned Korean comfort food. I think my favorite here is the soup. I mean, I love the katsu. Soup just tastes so good and warm. I think the most common foods in Korean cuisine are just meant to be extremely comforting, like the soups and broths. It's just delicious and designed to just make you feel better. There's so many of these like little plazas in Carrollton and Plano, which is like the Chinese area. Kind of exciting is that a lot of these are still empty. People are still moving in. That's the place I want to go to. Dami Korean restaurant. Dami Korean. Oh, this place is popular. All right. That place is definitely good. Just so many people in there. Gonna go get a bubble tea and come back. Gonna wait them out. This is K-Town Plaza. I think this is a new supermarket that just opened up around here. Watch out, H-Mart, you got competition. So apparently they make their own boba here. Ooh, look at that.
It doesn't even taste sweet, but it's good.
Did you have 100% sugar?
100% sugar.
Wow, haven't met anyone daring enough to have 100% sugar in their bubble tea in a long, long time. That's really nice. I got a mix of matcha boba and honey boba. This is the first time I'm actually having boba in my bubble tea in years. I don't eat boba anymore.
Really?
Yeah. Once you become an older Asian like me, you don't want boba.
Well, I get less boba now. You know.
As you age, this is how you know when you're getting older as an Asian person. The amount of boba in your bubble tea slowly starts to decrease until there is no more. I will say though, these are actually really tasty boba. All right, waited till like most people have left. I think the popular thing to get here, according to my friend Carmela, I think the galbijim and the cold noodles. Oh look, this bubble tea has little flowers inside, chrysanthemum flowers. Aw, no one ever gives me flowers. It feels special. You know, you're supposed to cut the noodles, otherwise they become basically impossible to eat. Still hurts me a little bit. Oh, that's really good soup. I was getting a little anxiety, not gonna lie, my throat was tightening up. That soup just kind of relaxed me right here. Good cold noodles. I'm gonna wait for my galbijim though because cold noodles are good. They're even better when they're wrapped around a piece of meat. There it is. Oh, it looks so good. Woohoo! Wow. Look at that. Wow. Pumpkin, sweet potatoes. I mean, to be honest, I don't really care about that, but look at the tender beef. Look how dead it is. It's like a beefy sponge. When you even just inhale the beautiful fragrance of the food you're about to eat, and it just inadvertently brings a smile to your face, you know you found something special. That was so tender. And because I ate it, I might even cry watching a Toyota commercial. I love what you do for me. This thing, look at it. You do not need a knife, just your chopsticks and barely your teeth. So tender and juicy. Got that nice fat on the side of these pieces as well. Slightly sweet and smoky. And I love it so much I just want to tuck it in with a bit of noodles. Maybe sing it a gentle lullaby and just put it right into my mouth. I will contend, Korean noodles is the best complement to any Korean grilled, braised, or any sort of meat. Again, so tender, straight off the bones. I get why there's so many people here. Well, the banchan's really good too, especially these greens. So refreshing with a blast of vinegar. And don't forget to take a sip of this awesome broth after every single bite of the cold noodles. Definitely come here and give this place a try. I've always said that the LA Korean food scene is much better than what we have in New York. Starting to kind of feel the same way about Texas, especially after our Korean barbecue place opens. I'm sure, a little biased, yeah. Back at Frisco at Seolleongtang. Oh, this is good. I tried to go to this place in Vegas. There was a location in Vegas. Couldn't get in, it was too packed. If you guys ever had shaved ice before, the mango shaved ice is really good, only if the mango is really sweet. But there's condensed milk. I'm telling you, this is a sweet mango. This makes the shaved ice. I mean, the shaved ice, I like it to be really fluffy. The bingsu here is really milky. It's not the fluffy kind of bingsu. So this thing's a bit on the creamy side, which I like. Today was my first day exploring the local food scene. And of course, I went to Koreatown, Carrollton. Of course, a lot of places I wanted to go to wasn't open, so I'll definitely make a trip back there. And this is my third official day here in Dallas. So far, my impression, like I said, at least to me, I feel like everything is near a freeway. That's probably not true, but it kind of feels like that. But everywhere I go, it's just freeways everywhere. Maybe that's why they're called freeways. They're free. And that's why there's so many of them. Otherwise, Korean food scene is good. I mean, so far what I had, food's fantastic. Like this morning, went to a really traditional Seolleongtang place, and I see a lot of other really modern fusion type Korean food popping up as well. Of course, I'm gonna explore everything further, but so far, I'm pretty happy with what I've been eating. Oh, another thing I realized about Texas, like right now it's about 68 outside, it's really comfortable. The sun though, that sucker's aggressive. Like just sitting in the car, the sun shining through the window was like lighting me on fire. So definitely gotta get used to using sunscreen a lot more than I was doing, which was not at all. Hopefully make sure I don't raisin for another decade. And I was doing a lot of research yesterday about where to eat around Texas. There's just so much stuff. So I'm gonna spend about a week here, finish up all my legal stuff, wrap up my move to Texas, and then I'm gonna be heading to Austin, to Houston. I'm feeling excited. Like I feel like this is a whole new food universe I haven't tapped into yet. So a lot of Texas food content to come. Hope you're ready for that. And as always, thank you all so much for watching. Until we eat again, I'll see you later.